Oh, there's the Caps we remember so fondly from last season. I was wondering where they went. Caps win 4-1 over the Florida Panthers. And then they played the third period. How dare you let me down, tree? Nah, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't blame it on my tree. But before we get into the depths of this despicable game, which I don't want to do, but we have to do, I have to remind you, please go down and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, get alerts anytime I post a video, and please go down there and comment what you thought about this game. I think I already know what your thoughts about the game are going to be, but I want to hear them anyway, so go down there, leave me a little note. Or something that would be even more welcome, leave me a joke in the comments, because I need something real bad to cheer me up from this game. I said it in a tweet after the game last night, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing, man? I said if hockey was a 40-minute game, look out every team ever. The Caps would dominate literally everybody if they only had to play 2 periods. The problem is, hockey is 60 minutes, not 40 minutes. And I think every Caps fan everywhere would agree after watching that game that the Caps are a masterclass at giving away the game in the third period. Now, what the reason is, I don't know. I'm not a professional. I don't work for the Caps. I've never been a part of the NHL. I'm just a dude yelling at my camera after games. All I know is that there is a collapse happening somewhere in the third period quite frequently that the Caps severely need to address. But before I go down that road any further, I have to give credit where credit is due. And we have to give some credit to the Florida Panthers for how they played this third period. Now, part of it I don't like, and the part that I don't like is that the Florida Panthers at one point in the third period quit playing hockey. The only thing they were concerned about there for a couple minute stretch was just aggravating the Caps, just irritating them and getting under their skin and throwing them off their game. And it worked. The Caps gave up an early goal in the third period, and the entire third period was just a giant downhill slide for the Caps. And I don't know if it was because of the antics that Florida was putting on before that, but I like to think that it had something to do with that. But I really don't think this has to do with the Caps quote unquote running out of gas. Yeah, they had a long stretch of hard games through the month of November, and they had a really hard stretch on that road trip on the Western Coast, but I really think this just comes down to the Caps not having an answer for the relentless and quite frankly irritating comeback that the Florida Panthers were putting on here. The biggest thing I think needs to be addressed is not just an abysmal third period, but is discipline late in the game. Let's rewind for a second and let's take a glance at the Carolina game right before this. Caps were up 2-0. Carolina mounted a comeback to tie it up 2-2. Then Carolina played a very undisciplined hockey game late in the third period. You remember, penalty, 5-on-3, Orlov scored, Brind'Amour loses his mind, which he got fined $25,000 again, by the way, for that. But it all came down to undisciplined hockey in the third period. That is what happened to the Caps in this game. Cholowski, that is just a terrible cross-checking penalty. You can't do that. The guy's not fighting for anything. He's just standing there. You cross-check him. That cost the Caps a goal. The game-tying goal, I might add. But then we have to look at poor Beck Malenstein and his goaltender interference. And yes, I put goaltender interference in quotes on purpose because I think this comes down to us having to give a round of applause to Sergei Bobrovsky for his outstanding performance as lead actor in net. Can somebody do that? Can somebody make an award and instead of it being like a little guy statue, it's like a hockey net? That is now 2 games in a row, back-to-back games against Florida, where Bob has absolutely flopped and it pisses me off. You remember the last one where he skates into Tom Wilson's lane after Willie scores the goal and then immediately after Tom Wilson was trending on Twitter again? I just think that late in a game, in such a close game, I mean there's seconds left on the clock, you can't call that, and if you are gonna call something, at least call it both ways. Poor Beck, man, I feel bad for the guy. He scores his first NHL goal in this game and he's all amped up. And then Florida makes this amazing comeback and he causes the penalty that gives up the power play goal for the lead, for the win. Oh man. You could see it on the bench. He was hanging his head, and good on Garnet Hathaway to walk over and kind of pick him up and say, hey man, you gotta shake it off. Let's get in the locker room. And that's exactly what us as fans need to do. Shake it off. I didn't want to talk long about this game for this exact reason. This has to be forgotten now. Okay, well, not now, but in like a minute when I'm done with this video. Caps fans need to stop thinking about this one and look forward, because I truly think that this one is an anomaly. This is the exception, not the rule. Just burn the tape. Don't even look at it. Don't analyze it. Don't think about it. I know they're not going to do that, but figuratively speaking, they need to do that. There are lessons to be learned in this game, and the Caps are going to address that. But it's time to forget about the month of November. Forget about the stupid road trips and the back-to-backs, the multiple back-to-backs. Those things constrain a team. It's time to come home for a nice, comfortable homestand, and to look forward to 4 teams that we could probably easily take points away from. The best way to bounce back from a bad period is to make your next period the best period. The first period against Chicago Thursday night is going to be a telltale sign at how well the Caps were able to cope with and address what happened in this game. Thanks for joining me on this episode. If you liked the video, smash that thumbs up button for me. It goes a long way towards promoting the channel and helping recommend content to other Caps fans who might enjoy it. And if you enjoyed your time here, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to see you come back and join our little corner of Caps fandom that we got going on here. And as always, Caps fans, let's go Caps!